Reports he was out for a fortnight. Here's Brown making a nice incision, and Anthony Mundine, he's very fast and they will not catch him. He will come around and he will score behind the uprights. Another of the very good juniors at St George. Start to the Coca-Cola World Sevens as a draw seems as though it's on the cards. Saints though throwing it out at Balmain now and down the sideline and running for the line is Mundine. He puts it over in the corner. Mundine snatches victory for the Saints with the siren in the background.
Little Rod Maybon floats the pass out wide. This is Mundine. Yes, gets it down.
Across field, it comes. Good run from Goulet. Barnhill. Barnhill stops, props, looks for support. He finds it. Hardy didn't expect it, but did well. Offloads. It comes. Maybon. Priddle. That's Mundine. Mundine away to Coyne. Coyne. Back it goes to Mundine. Mundine a step. Mundine a dummy. Mundine for the line. What a good try.
City got to representative level. Here's Bradley. Back to Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe away. Dummy's beautiful. Maybon. He goes Mundine. Across comes O'Neill. O'Neill can't get him. And in goes Mundine for the try to put St George in front.
Brown now playing at hooker again. Mundine in at halfback. A dummy. A step. A ball away to Bradley. Might have been forward. Marginal anyway. Referee gave him the benefit of the doubt. Brown. Back it comes to Priddle. Priddle looking for support. He finds Mundine. Mundine handles twice and scores under the black dot.
St George and Norths were scoreless for quite some time, and it was only the brilliant evasive running from Saints Anthony Mundine that broke the deadlock.
With 20 to go, he'll win the race to the line. Anthony Mundine, that's the first one.
Brown, Mundine on the toe, comes off the goal post and he scores. More trouble for the Knights when
by Anthony Mundine's second try, St George winning 26-6.
Bradley, Mundine, long pass for Coyne. Coyne takes off, steps off that right foot, got away from Hudson, back now to Mundine. Oh, brilliant stepping, Anthony Mundine. Great footwork, and the try to St George.
On the wet weather, stepping for little guys in the wet is a lot easier than for the big guys, and Hudson gets completely fooled, and Junie.
Saints go on with the football. Donnelly breaks into space. There's a try coming if they've got the speed. Mundine's away. Mundine, oh, he does it easily. He canters out.
Mundine, another chance out wide. Great break by the Dragons. Inside is Mundine. Cohen is giving chase. Mundine's going to have too much pace. They're on fire now, the St George Dragons. 10 points to 0. They've really set the Warriors in the dance, back on their seats. It'll be Mundine going for 1 point, and successful. Not a bad option.
Resistance early in the second term, but St George was never going to let them get close. A steamy afternoon for a fire-breathing show from the Dragons.
He's got support and Mundine.
5/8 Tony Mundine headed the charge with 3 tries as St George lines up its finals campaign.
30 metres off their own line. They lead by 2. Bradley! Bradley's away! Won't have the pace! Kicks into the centre! Mundine! Mundine! He gets it! Anthony Mundine made a mistake early, but he doesn't right now. 8-2 the Dragon.
Beautiful. And Brett Dallas couldn't put it with Anthony Mundine, who had the full head of steam.
That's a skill in itself, a right foot kicker kicking the ball back in field from that side. Well picked up by Mundine. That's a play we highlighted in the paper this morning. Bradley on the short line side. Nathan Brown and Bradley have a great combination, even though they haven't got much room in which to work. Bradley that time being able to stand over the top of Polomouta. Mundine was on the inside.
Dummied and stepped his way through for 2 of his own. St George 36-10 winners. North Queen
Standing wide. Mundine! Anthony Mundine goes across again. Under the post this time. He's wrapped it up for the Happy Dragons. Yeah, they went wide there. The dummy on the outside just beat a couple of tacklers there. You can't blame the Canberra Raiders defence there. They've had a lot thrown at them. Only 11 men for the last 10 minutes. And Anthony Mundine.
Last tackle for the Dragons. Now Mundine gets his chance on the last. Look at Mundine go. Inside the 10. Oh, well, you wanted to see him in action. You won't see any better than that. A genius, Anthony Mundine.
And if they went to sleep in defence on the first try, a touch of the football, and it may well be 6 points.
Oh, that's brilliant football from Mundine. The one-handed pickup. The dummy on the outside had Werrett in two minds. And what happens to Juni here? He runs up and gets stuck. Sort of gets both his feet standing still.
Goldthorpe on the last, gets a running forward, then back, and Goldthorpe is there, and Mundine will score! Yes, Anthony Mundine scores. What about Goldthorpe? Is he having a game tonight?
Oh, wonderful.
And this is Stone. Stone gets a ball away. Mundine in support, and away goes Mundine again. They're after him, they'll have to hurry. They're not going to get him. Mundine! Again he goes in for another try. Anthony Mundine goes in. Auckland's heads go down. And this will be classic photography.
And there's
one of the great young lions of the game.
He just went into overdrive, didn't he? You could see that he was just summing things up, and then all of a sudden the decision was made, and the acceleration. He looked like he was at full pace, and he found another metre or two, and Ellis a despairing dive at the end.
Yeah. To use an athletic term.
The second row of there. And covered offence. Great tackle from Florimo.
Now Mundine! Are they going to get him? No, I don't think so! Mundine's over! St. George! Now they lead by 5.
And that's what this kid can do. Anthony Mundine. Put him in space, and he's just got that many gears.
It's just a foot race. He's got plenty of toe. We saw him score a try, I think, against Auckland one night. He ran 60 metres, outpaced everyone. Very skillful, very quick. What a bonus he'll be for Brisbane next year. But at the moment, he's doing it all pretty well for St George.
Very good work from Wayne Bartram as well. He actually attracted 3 players and still got the ball away. The third player to come in, Gary Larson, was the man who would have had the middle of the ruck sewn up. And whether he'd have been able to take Mundine one-on-one is all hypothetical now, but there was a big hole because the 3 had come in.
Bennett says Mundine had always wanted to sign with Brisbane and was refused because they didn't need a 5'8". He was accepted only because he offered to play centre.
Well, the Dragons fired back. Anthony Mundine starring in 2 tries.
Bumps away from 2. Rifles the ball to Mundine, and he's over. They are setting themselves, and they're going to go for it. Mundine, he's got it!
As they go on the attack again, the Dragons. They turn it over. Mundine toes it forward. Coming through, Branco will beat him to the ball, perhaps. And the Dragons have come from the clouds.
And there was a battle royale going on between the 2 of them. I don't think Mundine wanted to see somebody score from the kick that he employed. He wanted to make sure that he could claim it.
As the manufacturer, he finished off the job as well. But he fair dinkum pushed him out of the way, didn't he?
Thompson again accepts the inside ball, twists and turns, gets it back for Nathan Brown. He passes over the top for Blacklock. Back inside for Coyne. Here's Mundine. Anthony Mundine will score behind the posts.
That's the try of the year. You see all the fans, here it is, Coyne, that's just brilliant play. That'll be on his highlights tape, don't worry. There's no one in QE.
Anthony Mundine was smart too.
Georgia making a break down the left of the ground, and away goes Mundine! He's going in to score! Blacklock and Mundine operating down the left of the ground.
Making a break on the far side. Good work here, stepping inside, and then plenty of support. Anthony Mundine on the inside. Mark Hughes trying to knock the ball down, the intercept, couldn't do so. And the Saints are back in it. They've had no football in this game, or no quality football. Blacklock did very well. And Anthony Mundine, too much pace. All of a sudden you can just feel that.
It was almost like, please someone score and put them out of their misery, St George. But they hung on. A gallant effort from the St George team.
Here's a break for Murphy. Not his first of the day. He turned Hughes around, and now it is Blacklock Down it goes with Wagon. It was Mundine, not Blacklock, by the way. He backs up on the inside and puts it over the line. He gets his second try of the day.
Well, that was fairly razzly-dazzly. Great work from Lee Murphy. Made the bust up the centre and the combination.
Showing all the grit and determination we've seen from them over all those years, and a bit of Mundine magic at the death. He's an athlete. He's a very, very skillful rugby league player. Sets it up nicely for Wagon. And then, look, he doesn't die. He just back on the inside, backs up well, and gets the try. Probably all they needed. Look, their discipline has been out the window today, and they've given away far too many penalties, especially for offside and around the play the ball. All they ever need to win a game is 50% of the football.
Brown. A floater from Mundine with an overlap. He pushes away. He got to Brooker. He scored. Finally, they got there, and the Dragons have hit the front.
Here it is. He's running the ball across field. You can just see Lamb there. He's doing a little bit tough. Well, I think it was Nigel Gappy that may have been on the inside. It was
Mundine puts it on the boot, gets the regather. Blacklock's away. Blacklock goes back looking for support. Finds it in Mundine. Mundine's over. Well, Anthony Mundine has set it up. He's engineered it and he's put it down. Tremendous individual skills by Anthony Mundine.
Well, he has plenty to say and he can back it up on occasion, and that was one of them. Nothing on here. He just kicks for himself. We'll have a look where Blacklock is in position with Mundine here.
Sort of good and bad news because Luke Patton is back out there. Ainsco's chasing this one through on Morrison. It bounces badly for Morrison. Mundine will score. Mundine for St George Illawarra. In front of his new home fans has scored.
Marathon, they've only lost 4 games, Newcastle is on the last tackle. The Dragons run it.
Now, Patton in from full back, into space, gets the ball away, and Mundine
puts it on the toe. Mundine with the chase. Brilliant. McLinden. Wide they go. Mundine. Track time. That's the ball game. Mavis is given chase. Anthony Mundine in front of his home crowd. Faithful. And he's got a double. Look at it. Whoa.
Ainsco, a step, reach one, beats a second, links up with Bartram. Bartram gets a hander for Barrett. Barrett now, down to Cronulla's 30-metre line. Mundine is jogging alongside him. Mundine, he's away. Mundine, he goes down there and scores.
He's been playing well too. Watch for him tonight.
The offload. Mundine, the dummy, stepping off the left boot, pushes away from one, pushes away from another. Mundine.
Good recovery there from Barnhill.
Now Bartram, back to the open. Crossfield looking for a straight runner. He found Mundine. What a man to find. And the man, he scores again. Try number 2 for Anthony Mundine. Unbelievable. They've recovered so well on occasions when they needed to, but here, Mundine finally gets
Blacklock into some space, standing, looking, giving it away. Ainsco steps, gets it back on the inside. Mundine scores. Mundine scores with the full-time siren. 45 seconds. New South Wales looking for an opening, looking for a crack in the veneer. Terry Hill, and here's Mundine. Mundine, he puts it over the line. He scores a try on debut. Terry Hill found the crack, and Anthony Mundine found the line, and it's 4-all.
Mundine gets the try, breaks the well, it's the first try of the match, no doubt about it, and the Blues get it.
And I think fair to say has come against the run of play, despite the fact New South Wales have had a lot of possession in the last 10 minutes down this end of the field. Queensland seem to be coping quite well in defence. Mundine, his first Origin game.
Really need that sort of defence, although they're going wide and there is some room out here for St George with Ainsco.
Ainsco cuts them out wide. He's got support on the inside. It's Mundine. He's over the 40, over the 30. It's Milford coming across. Will Milford get him? Mundine and Milford. And Mundine puts the ball down miraculously. What a try.
How do you get it down? As the St George side is, but they need to maintain some pressure and retain a couple of sets in the St George end. If we see Mundine
bursting into the clear, Mundine, he's going to score. They're not going to stop the St George Illawarra number 6, who gets another 4-pointer. That's his second.
Brown. Mundine! The ball is on the ground. Clark will give it. He points to the spot. Mundine is over for the Dragons.
They've hit back strongly early in the second half. Anthony Mundine running great lines here.
Brown again. And the kick is a chance. And it's a try. It's a try for Mundine. The man, Choco. I think he's got himself a try.
Well, if he's onside, he's got a try. And it's not often you see David Peachey out-leapt. But two real athletes up against each other for this catch.
Obviously, peace would help. But I said for St George Illawarra to be successful. Mundine! Mundine! He's away! And scores! There she goes! There goes another one! Ho, 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 ho! Oh!
And this wraps it up for them. They're heading to the NRL Grand Final here next Sunday. Beautiful footwork and the speed of the man over that 20 metres. He got around Peachey. Not too many players can do that.
Strike power with him not there. He is their leading try scorer for the year. He has 6 next to his name. And the wireless. Mundine puts a left foot step on straight through Williamson.
And inside the 20-metre line, Mundine will go all the way and score for St George Illawarra.
Out from the line, right in front of the uprights. Brown to Mundine. Mundine dummying. Mundine! What a try! Anthony Mundine! Brilliant stuff!